Hey guys, what is up? My name is Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming out with a tag video. I haven't done a tag video in so long, but it is the end of year tag. I was tagged by Mookie Reads. I'll have them linked down below. I believe that this tag originated from Ariel Bissett. She is one of the co-hosts of the big Booktubeathon. What do we rename it this year? The Reading Rush. So I will have that link down below if I can find the original tag. Without further ado, let's get into the questions. So the first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you haven't finished but you intend to finish? I've DNF'd quite a few books this year, I'm not gonna lie. There are only one DNF and one book that I'm actively reading right now that I hope to finish by the end of the year. The one that I put aside is least likely to happen, and that is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. This book is beloved by many and not cared for by many as well, and I'm afraid I fall into the latter category, but I'm not giving up on it yet. I am about 110 pages in, which I felt was sufficient at the time to set it aside and come back to it when I was more in the mood. I picked this up immediately after finishing Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff, which was probably one of my more disappointing reads of the year, and thus I was already in kind of a weird reading mood / slump, and I set it aside. So I might get to it during the Fantasy-a-thon next month. Spoiler alert, I do intend to partake in the Fantasy-a-thon. I'll have that information linked down below, hosted by a bunch of lovely people that you all probably already know. I'll also be participating in 'Tis the Season-a-thon. I have no TBR set for anything yet, but if, big if, I decide to do the prompt in the Fantasy-a-thon for finishing a book you started, this might be the one, but that would be stretching it. It would probably take me the whole Fantasy-a-thon, so we'll see. Otherwise, I had set a goal, I believe, earlier this year that I wanted to finish, sorry, I have a cold, the Throne of Glass series. I am on Empire Storms. I believe this is the fifth? Yes, the fifth book. I'm in the first 10% of the book, so finishing it in a month and a couple days is probably not going to happen, but I have it in ebook, so I get to read it like when I have downtime. So it's a possibility. I'm definitely not finishing the whole series by New Year's, though. That's just not gonna happen. Question number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book that helps you transition between seasons? I'm absolutely paraphrasing, but transition through the end of the year. I think the answer we get often is Harry Potter, just any Harry Potter book. I just grabbed the one that was easiest to grab. I already read Goblet of Fire last month, so that was my transition. I am doing this tag a little late, so Harry Potter always and forever will be the October, November, December read of my life. But for me also, ever since reading it the first time, I reread it again when the weather was transitioning and I was walking outside every day because the weather was like in the 60s and 70s. It was beautiful, but it was definitely getting cooler. And that is The Raven Boys, or The Raven Cycle, all of it by Maggie Stiefvater. Called on the Hawk just came out this month. I have already read it. I will forever be a Maggie Stiefvater fan. I will forever be a Ronan fan. This book and its sequels plus its spin-offs hold a near and dear place in my heart, and I would consider it something that will forever transition me from summer to fall. It's just a vibe the book gives me, and that is my answer. Question number 3 is there a release that you're still waiting for? And if you had asked me in October and I had done the tag then I would have had a slew of them. But as of right now, we've got a month and a week and a half left of the year, and I can't think of a single thing that I've been like head over heels stoked for at all, because most of my releases that I really highly anticipated came out in November. You've got Called on the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. You've got The Toll by Neil Shusterman. Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nyan. What else? Supernova by Marissa Meyer. Just a whole slew of new releases. And I don't think there's anything specific in December that I've been like dying for. I'm sure there'll be books that come up that I really want, but nothing I'm like, can't wait for. Question number 4 is, what are 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? I already said the Sarah J. Maas book, maybe Gideon, but the ones that I really think that I will absolutely love and want to get to before the end of the year are The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I'm still trying to decide if I want to put this in at the end of November after the Contemporary-a-thon, but before December. It is a thick and small text. Ooh, of course I opened to something that doesn't look that bad. Novel, but The Night Circus is one of my favorite books. The year that it came out, it made my top 10. I absolutely adored it. I know this is supposed to be incredibly different, but I just have a feeling I'm going to 5-star it. That is just a gut instinct. The cover's gorgeous. I really love Erin's writing, and I can't wait to see what happens. If I don't get to it in November, then I might put it on my Fantasy-a-thon TBR or at some point in December, regardless. Also, I would like to get to Dig by A.S. King. This has gotten nothing but positive reviews, and everyone that I've seen talk about it has said it's basically a life-changing novel. I know that Lala from Books and Lala really loved it, and I know that Chandler from Chandler Ainsley really loved it, and recently read it and has talked about it, I think even in her own end of year book tag. I keep putting it off, and I don't know why, and I'm gonna read it. And the last book, or perhaps set of books that I would like to read before the end of the year, are Arch Enemies and Supernova. I don't need to hold it up, but here it is, Supernova by Marissa Meyer. I absolutely loved Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and I don't know why I put off Arch Enemies for so long. I won this in a giveaway literally fall of 2018, and it's just sat here, and I put it on TBRs and I haven't gotten to it, and I don't know why, because I really, really, really liked Renegades, and I really enjoy Marissa Meyer's writing. It does move very fast, so there's no reason to not get to it, and I highly intend to finish this series before the year finishes. Question number 5, is there a book that you think will still shock you and become one of your favorites of the year before the year is out? And the obvious answers are the books that I just listed, specifically Dig by A.S. King and The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I have high hopes, and I very much anticipate that they'll both be 5-star reads for me. Arch Enemies and Supernova, I gave Renegades 4 stars, but it stuck with me, so it's really a very strong 4.5 star. So I don't think they're going to make my best of, at least I don't anticipate it, you never know. But those 2 definitely, and other than that, I don't really have any specific reading plans yet, so I can't really say. We'll say that the books that I really need to read are the ones that I anticipate to be my favorite. And number 6 is, have you already started making reading plans for 2020? And the answer is not really. I have 2 books that are already pre-ordered for, actually one's pre-ordered and one I intend to pre-order for the new year, and that is Sarah J. Maas's new series, an adult, like, I don't remember what it's about, honestly, but sign me up. So that comes out in January, and then in February, the conclusion to The Diviners by Libba Bray. The King of Crows comes out in February, right before my birthday, so I do intend to get that and spend my birthday loving Libba Bray more than most authors in the world, because The Diviners is a masterpiece, and if you haven't read it, you need to read it. Maybe by the end of the year. Other than that, not really. I kind of have an idea that I want to do regarding Book of the Month Club books, because I do intend to continue getting them through the next year. So we'll see if that comes to fruition, but otherwise, nothing really. My Goodreads goal will probably stay the same at 100 books. I blew it away this year, so I'm sure I'll do it next year, but I don't like to stress myself out. So we'll call that my reading plans for 2020. I'm not going to tag anyone specifically. It's been too long since I've done a tag, but if you want to do it and you haven't yet, I tag you. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you guys have some really epic reads planned for the next month and 2 weeks, or however long we have, and that 2020 is already looking like it will be a great year for books and music and everything else. I can't wait for January, but I'm gonna enjoy the rest of 2019 while I can. Thank you for being here, guys. Like if you've liked this video, subscribe if you're new here and would like to see more content from me. I post all my links to my social media down below. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Goodreads. I hope you're having a wonderful week and that November's treating you well. Happy Thanksgiving for those of you that celebrate, and see you in December.